Since the introduction of the 562, it came out with an EL44, then it came out with an EL46. The EL44 seemingly didn't have many issues. I know they had a current change in the ignition, and it seems like that, if I remember right, that's right when they changed from an EL44 to an EL46, came with a different computer and whatnot. I know there's some discrepancies in there, but for the majority of what it matters, that was the deal. Now the EL46 seems to be a little bit more temperamental. Not many saws have a problem. Most of it's a hesitation issue. There was very few 44s that had a hesitation issue, but you could take care of that by modifying the butterfly a little bit. I'm just going to run through with the Welsh plugs out where the fuel paths are on these auto-tuned carbs. We've been trying to work on a fix for the EL46. The main jet nozzles have the same part number. They are not identical. Physically, the EL44 has an extra orifice on the top. The EL44 has a silver, let's see if I can get my camera to focus, has a silver nozzle. And that's not going to happen. There's an orifice on the top right there that pulls in underneath the diaphragm fuel, and the main feed, of course, is like a standard nozzle. It's right there when it's pressed into the body. Now the EL46 has been coming with a brass, and there is an indentation like they intended to make an orifice there, and there's actually an indentation where it should have fed to, right there, but it does not go through. It is not a complete path. On the EL44s and the EL46, the microprocessor sits right here on the side of the carb body. This is where the fuel is fed from, right here. That travels through that microprocessor, and this is a return for the purge, and this is actually the main jet. There's only one hole or path for fuel that it controls how much fuel is fed to the system. Instead of having a low and a high here, you would have just one main low and high. And now that controls it is the microprocessor limits the amount of fuel by sensing off of the throttle position sensor, which I have broken off. The computer actually knows where the butterfly is and how to transition the amount of fuel that is flowed through this one main jet, this one main fuel passage orifice. That passage goes straight underneath this Welch plug. There is a tiny jet, and that's where the low idle circuit and the transitions. You can see, hopefully there's 3 of them. That is the one that is open right there. Get a little closer. Right there when the throttle is closed completely. And then as you open the throttle, it transitions to 2 open to 3 open. By that point, you've got enough low pressure going over the nozzle, which is obviously pulled out of this carb body, and that opens up the main jet nozzle, allowing flow to run through the high side. By that time, the computer already knows that the throttle is cracked wide open and the microprocessor is delivering fuel as if it is at wide open throttle. The problem we seem to be having with the EL46 is this transition from here to here, meaning how the computer maybe, or how the carb is reacting to fuel flowing from 1, 2 to 3 and then going into the main jet nozzle. The main jet nozzle is fed right through there, so it is almost a straight path, boom, right through there and into there, and you will still have a little bit of fuel, you know, coming out of the lows. So right now we've tried swapping nozzles, and that has seemed to richen them up quite a bit, but not completely get rid of the hesitation issue. The only other difference that we've found is the butterfly on the throttle is quite a bit different on the EL44 and the EL46. This is the EL, you can see it, EL46 nozzle, or I'm sorry, EL46 throttle plate. EL44 only has two. There it goes. Only has two half moon bypasses. Try to get a better picture of that one. There we go. And we've got several tiny ones around the EL46. Tom and I have been working on trying to get the bugs worked out of the EL46. It seems at this point the only solid fix we have is, if you're having problems with the EL46, is to take the computer off the side of your EL46 and put an older EL44 body on. So far that's all we've come up with that's 100%. Some of the things we've done have helped a little bit on some of the 46s, but there seems to be a carb body issue. We just haven't pinned it down yet. Or working on these main jet nozzles, trying to get them sorted out. So anyway, that's where we're at on it right now. See what we come up with the next couple days.